Hi, this is Sylvia of Colorful Foresight, and I have two of my guests today. We got Deann, Shield, Made in Harrow, and PD Connect. Okay, guys, ladies, you ready? This one is called the swinging pendulum. I just thought we'll just swing it. And we're going to do political enlightenment. I'm doing like a 22-week series from Alpha to Omega, which is like the fool to the world. And I want us to aim to manifest a political enlightenment. Now, that's from 2024 and beyond. Like, are we going to get a president that enlightened in this one in 2024? I don't know, but it doesn't matter because we got somebody for 2020 what was needed in order to head forward. The first one, we're going to start with the fool. And what's interesting is that Marianne Williamson, who wrote political books, and she's friend with Joe Biden, but already she's like, trying to run against him. And she's amazing. And
she's real spiritual.
Yeah, she's very spiritual, but she wrote
and she does crystals and stuff, and I know they make fun of her for that.
Yeah, and you know what? It's the left that they say I like her. She had a lot of great key points, but they don't see anything for her. They don't see it. Even Linda G was like, don't see it. But I don't go by that because we've had readers that say this and I'm not even saying that she's actually made to do this, but already I could see like the Democrat trying to be cool. She's like, she's spiritual, so she can't be like done. She can be, our president for 2024. Meanwhile, the Republican, they tend to have people who just what's good in the moment. So there's like good and bad. Like I feel like the Republican are seen not cool and the Democrat are seen cool, but they're good and bad on either side. So the question is, with the fool in mind, I'm going to put that image in there. Would Marianne Williamson be a good candidate for humanity to be a U.S. president in 2024? We're going to use the pendulum. And whatever it is.
What's her last name? Marianne what?
Williamson.
Okay. Will Marianne Williamson be a good candidate for 2024? I feel no.
I gotta know.
I don't think they're going to accept her. She's too different. They're going to see her as woo-woo. She's too woo-woo.
I'm curious. Is she even good? Regardless of what people ideas about it, is she even good to be a president for 2024?
I get no.
So here's what my pendulum.
Yeah.
My pendulum, in another position maybe.
My pendulum is saying she would be a good president. However, the medium side of me, the feeling I get when I ask that question and like what Spirit's telling me is that it's not gonna work.
Not gonna happen. No. Yeah. And I really think it's because of her, we like crystals, we like pendulums, we like all that stuff, but we're not running for president. And there's a whole bunch of people out there that think this is bad. There are. And there's a lot of religious folks that think this is bad, and they're not going to vote for her because of that.
How about this? Because we have I got also that she would be a good president, but at PD and you said it, blah, 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 right? So we want to attract on this series, let's attract a political enlightenment. Now, could it be all of politics? No, we're thinking far ahead. We're just having fun. We're playing game, with this food. So we already saw that the light came in through Biden and the universe helped because they needed a certain kind of president to move forward. So what we think enlightenment is, I would never thought of him as enlightenment, but why not? Enlightenment could show up in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. So what that means, we have to open up to receive political enlightenment. What any message the Spirit has to say for us to have that. First thing that comes to mind already for me is let go of who that looked like.
That's really wise.
No way.
And I'm glad that you said that because I've never even really thought of myself as having an idea set on what something like that would look like, like political enlightenment. And as far as Biden goes, I think that he was the breakthrough. We're going into this new age. He sort of ushered in that new age with us, and that was his purpose. Everything has its different purpose, and I believe that that's exactly what you were saying, and that's just so interesting that classifying a break is classifying what you think that is, because I would not have thought
it may not be Marianne Williamson, even though she had that. But you know what? When she say things, you don't think that the mustard seed, like there were things she was saying from the last, she said some cool thing. Anything we say, you don't think that plant a seed. So even though she may not be, the person or whatever, how what she's saying, if the universe or whatever won't plant the seed that the other person may start using,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So
everything we say, one thing affects the other, it's a domino effect,
Yeah. So what that means, we have to open up to receive political enlightenment. It just means like more awareness. I'm not going to use the word wolf because now I don't even like that word after, the way they bullshit it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start and then you guys look. I got the Eighth of Wands, which is putting that thought out there. What I just mentioned with Marianne Williamson. So it's like programming us as society. We're getting downloads. We're getting awakened without knowing. Not everybody has to be spiritual and we're getting all these energy anyway, depending on where the planet is. So the 8, what is this? I can't read this. The 7 of Pentacles. It's like a slow thing, but it can happen going forward, which is why I put 2024 and beyond. But we could get that energy going. The King of Pentacles again. So maybe we have to be reminded what kind of president we want. Somebody who's the King of Pentacles, which is more grounded. So for those people who don't like the woo-woo, but he has also the ability to work with many different things. The Pentacle could work with many different elements, including the air, fire, whatever. So I always get stumped with the court card, but I'll just go with that. And the end, which is interesting, the world card, because the last of the series, the 22, is the mega. It's telling us what goal we want. So instead of like trying to figure out how we're going to get enlightenment or how we're going to get political enlightenment, just see like see already like what that feels like. For me, I have to do what it feels like, because if I start going what it looks like, then I can't. So I have to go with, it feels like people work together. It feels like, we could calm down. It feels like we're moving forward in humanity. Like I have to figure out what that feels like. But that's just something what I'm getting with the world card to remind us, even though this is video 1, which I'm happy I got Deann and PD start this series, 1 out of 22. We're already getting to the message of the last card, which is the world. What we
Rose, you want me to go ahead? Okay.
Go ahead.
It's up to you. Whatever you want.
Okay.
I'm ready,
Well,
or you.
I'll go ahead and show you what I got. I got the Page of Cups in reverse as the main card there. So and that card can stand for being insecure or attention seeking. So I feel like that we've got to stop being so insecure, that everything is fear based. Be afraid, and makes people insecure. And we've got a lot of politicians that instead of wanting to help us, they're attention seeking. That has to stop. We need to have somebody who truly cares about the people and is not just in it for the attention and for the greed and for the money. I got the Emperor in reverse, clarified by, I put toil and labor. So, we've got to stop being so stubborn, and listen to each other and not just be ready to fight as soon as you find out somebody's Republican or Democrat. Listen to each other, because it's not necessarily people love Trump. They don't like things that are happening in their life and they want it different. And there's some things on the Republican side I agree with and some I disagree with. So we need to listen and talk to each other. Quit being so stubborn and rigid and be more disciplined. It's going to take a lot of work, to get ourselves back to where we want to be. And I got the 7 of Pentacles like you, and clarified by great fortune. So I feel like things are going to get a lot better for us. but we've got to be patient, and that's not easy for us. We all want it now. We want justice now. We want everything to happen now, but we're going to have rewards if we can just persevere and be patient, and things are going to progress in the right way. And the last card I got was the Knight of Pentacles, followed by the Mature Man. I think we're going to have somebody that's a mature man, that's going to be the president, who's going to be reliable and committed, but he's kind of a slow and steady kind of president. He's not somebody who's going to be in there. And so we just got to know that things are coming. We're going to have a hard-working president, but he's going to be committed, but it's going to be slow. So it's telling us to be hopeful, be empowered, and just surrender stuff to God and the universe and just trust. And that's what I get.
What's funny is that you got the 7 of Pentacles and that other card, which is like the 7 Pentacles in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just love these cards. It's amazing sometimes the message. Yeah. And we got similar too. We both got the 7 of Pentacles.
It's interesting, Deann, because with you and Colorful Foresight drawing that 7 of Pentacles, I got a card extremely similar with a similar message as the two of you. I got the Hanged Man. Okay, so what this is telling me right here is it's telling me that nothing's going to come overnight, right? and so okay, I'm gonna take it a little step farther, as far as like an enlightenment goes, and opening ourselves up to different things, opening ourselves up to the information that the universe has to bring into us regarding a political enlightenment, and being in that mindset to be able to receive that. As far as that goes, going back to my time as an elementary education, special education, one thing that I worked with a lot was social emotional learners. And when you are stressed out, when your anxiety level is here, do you know how difficult it is to learn? It's extremely difficult to learn. And so what this Hanged Man card is telling me here is we can't stay in this high stress level. Okay. We can't stay in this state of anxiety, because what that does, it makes us react differently, and we don't get the entire message that we're supposed to be getting because we're too wrapped up in our emotions. Right.
Yeah.
So with this Hanged Man card right here, what this is telling me is this is not going to be something that happens overnight, right? This could be something, and two, here with this, feeling out of control, feeling like we're not in control. That brings us anxiety too. Just look at the position that this person is in. I mean, they're hanging upside down, and well, it's reversed, so it's a little bit better, but so, and do you see how can anything penetrate into here when we're in a state of being upset, being angry, being anxious, wondering what's going to happen next? So, this is kind of what's representing like the people and how we feel. And over here with this King of Wands right here, this King of Wands is representing the leader that we're looking for. And what we're looking for is we're looking for somebody that's mature, that's going to come in. They're natural at it. It's going to be somebody that is authentic. That's what we're looking for. We're not looking for somebody that's going to smile in our face and tell us one thing and do another. We're looking for somebody that actually cares. Okay. Yeah. And so, you're going to be able to see these things in politics and in people when you're in a mindset that is correct. Okay. So try and because our emotions, they differ from day to day, right? Like the way you feel about something one week, the next week, you might look at that and be like, Okay. So with that being said, I think that the message that I'm getting here with these two cards is that we have to be in the right mindset in order to even get to our to the enlightenment part of things. And what we're looking for becomes crystal clear. We're also looking for somebody, I think too, that's a visionary that understands that understands that we're sick of it.
Yeah.
So that's what I got.
I mean, that goes back to our other video we did on where I said 2023, it's supposed to remind us, again, going back into that love vibe, returning back to love.
Mm-hmm.
Could just be unity, because successfully, whatever that would try and divide, really divided people that were never supposed to be divided. Some
Right.
people needed to be divided, that I said, but some may come back together.
Right.
So it's
Right.
reminding us about this idea of what kind of state of being, which is what PD Connect. But it's easy to say that. But it may be just a reminder, like in the midst of me like being miserable, I'll have this idea like, okay, go take a walk or something, whatever to snap me out of it. And it matters, you know. Let me tell you, I got caught up just like anybody else, being sassy and being part of that division.
Me too. And I think we need to, and it's hard, but I think we need to listen to each other's side with an open heart and not just say, well, you're stupid. How could you, I mean, I'm guilty of that too, because I sit there and I see all this stuff and I'm like, they're like, I love Trump. You're like, what? How? But I've got to sit there. Why? What is it about that you like? I mean, but right now, I'm not talking about it. It's like, I love you, you love me,